I broadly speaking think that the right hasn't gone far enough. I think they've made a couple of strategic blunders. I think once your side starts getting
What?
assassinated successfully, it's no longer just attempts. I think you need to ram through every policy you could possibly imagine. You need to weaponize it. You need to fucking destroy these people. And
Okay.
they haven't yet. We've seen blunders with the H-1B proposal, where at first we hear that we're going to completely gut the H-1B program by requiring a yearly fee, even for existing H-1Bs, of $100,000.
Dude, he has to be doing a bit, right? Like this has to be a bit, right? Right, guys, please tell me this is a bit. Please tell me he's doing a bit. Like I just don't get the Vosh. Like he has to understand he sounds exactly like Vosh, right? Like he has to understand he sounds exactly like Vosh, right? He has to be doing this on purpose, right? Like he has to be doing the Vosh bit on purpose, right? Like he has to be. He just has to be. Foodshops, what happened to your botted views? I never botted. Also, Steven is playing like Expedition 33 right now, okay? Alright. Yeah, there you go.
And this is the most exciting news to every computer science graduate who has had to deal with a number of H-1Bs coming in every year, equal to their number of graduates who currently can't, 90% of whom currently can't find jobs. It's totally insane. And nothing. Nothing.
I
Total
never
strategic
botted my
misstep.
views.
We should be prosecuting people. We need to have people thrown in prison. Jimmy Kimmel shouldn't have had his broadcasting.
It's not a good idea to bot on YouTube either. Yeah. I think obviously, I think at some point I begin to care about my views or whatever, but like at some point you kind of get like a really stable audience who will watch your content, video or stream or otherwise or VOD or anything like that. So, you know what? I'm not too pressed about it.
License taken away, or
I'm not too pressed about it.
showrunners shouldn't have had their broadcasting license taken away. Jimmy Kimmel should probably be in prison.
I'm not pressed
If
about
that's
it.
the big deal, like if that's what if that's what we're going to claim is the big deal, then he should probably be in prison. But there's a long list of people who should be in prison before him. So let's start locking them up. Come
Okay.
on.
Okay, it should be spicy. And last but certainly not least, Motohead. What do you have? Is that how you say your name, by the way? I should.
You can just call me Moto. It's fine.
Okay,
It's Moto
Moto.
X Freak, but you can just call me Moto. Um, I think that the right wing response, even if we discount everything that was happening before, I think the right wing response since Charlie Kirk's assassination, which was horrific and vile and should never happen in America, has been absolutely disgusting. It has been un-American.
Oh, yeah, this guy was fucking cooking, okay? I remember this guy was fucking cooking, but he just, I don't know, maybe he was on Vyvanse or something as well. But he was, he was going off, okay, but yeah.
In the worst possible ways.
Who's Gay Vosh? I don't
And
fucking know.
to show how, I'll actually let Gibbs and Confluence speak for themselves here, because less than 2 days since the shooting of Charlie Kirk, Gibbs is going on his stream talking about how we know the shooter is already left leaning, right? This is before we had even found the gun, right? Confluence talking about how it's disgusting to make jokes or whatever, and on that very same stream, he's making the Paul Pelosi gay boyfriend lover joke, like in the same stream where they're discounting all of these people celebrating Charlie Kirk's murder. So don't let either of these people, don't let either of these people try to convince you
Oh,
that they're
it's
in good
opening.
faith.
It's opening. Let him go.
sorry,
You can respond
sorry.
after. Finish your
Sorry,
statement.
Don't let either of these people try to convince you that they're taking this seriously or any
Oh my god, this guy's just here to have a good time.
more than just a rhetorical game for their own power. And to speak to Gibbs,
Days.
he even admitted that
All
Trump
days.
is heinous, right? But he's willing to choose the devil he knows because he knows that he won't come after him. Fuck everybody else. As long as he doesn't come after me, it's fine.
Okay. And with that, let's open up with a question. I told you guys I would be asking this question first of all, and then we can get into all of that, right? You can respond to him if you want Confluence in your answer to your question, I promise, right? But the question is, the Kirk Memorial with the speeches and all that, do we think that was okay? Do we think that was appropriate? And open floor, open discussion. Go ahead,
What
please.
wasn't appropriate about it? I see like people like Destiny calling it a Nazi rally. Like what?
The sparklers! It was a
I mean, Stephen Miller.
fucking WWE
Oh,
intro. What are you talking about?
Okay, not WWE. Okay, like I really wouldn't say it's a WWE thing. Like, sorry, that's probably not exactly the right wording I would use, but good enough. Okay, whatever.
That's not a Nazi rally. Like, yeah, like if your argument is it's
At a
showy,
funeral?
and the Nazi rallies were showy, like, okay,
At
it
a
was showy.
funeral?
Well, I mean, hold on. You said it's
At a
WWE.
funeral.
Hold on. You said it's a WWE thing. Actually, you know what? I'll agree with you. It's 100% WWE inspired. If you know, actually, right behind me, I have the book "Controversy Creates Cash" by Eric Bischoff. If you know who's in Trump's administration, Linda McMahon, and you know their close ties and their donor history, it comes as no surprise they probably have similar staffers that are going to put on a great product like the WWE that has millions of people motivated to watch every week and has for damn near 30, 40 years. Yeah, I would argue that, yeah, just don't be mad that people are better at marketing than you are. That doesn't make them Nazis. That just makes them skilled.
Yeah,
No, it's
obviously-
gross.
It
It's
was a
gross.
political
It's gross.
slash religious funeral. That kind of fits with Charlie
Dude, only in this space would I hear someone like say something like that unironically. Oh my god.
Kirk's life. He was a religious
Oh.
slash political person. He would have loved it. So like,
Actually, people IRL are probably like this too, honestly.
how is it a Nazi? Do you think it's a Nazi rally? I guess because you didn't say that. Because unlike
So,
you,
first of
I'm not
all-
gonna put
Basically-
words into your mouth like you did to me, saying
I didn't put
No.
words. No. I didn't put words into your mouth.
You have me
You bet.
confused with someone else.
You
if
better be
think I made
lucky
up-
that I'm on my phone right now. You better be lucky that I'm on my phone right now and I don't have access to the actual clip to put here in chat right
I
now.
would love
Okay.
to see it because I've never
Okay.
done that.
I'll put it on Twitter later. I'll put it on Twitter
please,
later for
please
you.
do.
Okay.
Based. So the issue with it is, so Turning Point can do whatever they want with memorializing Charlie Kirk. That's not really the problem. It's the fact that you had the president of the United States, the vice president, different people in his administration going there to then use it as an opportunity to further their agenda and talk about things like, for example, I know that Vance went on to talk about, how he was a good man. That's fine and all, but he believed in all things like life is important from, beginning to end, and so we need to continue this motive
Wait.
with this message.
Wait,
What a
you agree?
Nazi.
Peach, can I ask you a
That's
question?
so
Let me ask you a question, Peach. So I know that you don't stand with them on their beliefs, right? But you would vote for a politician that had your beliefs, so you'd want that politician to expound on their beliefs, right? So when
No,
you're saying,
I wouldn't use it. I wouldn't use
well,
the death
no.
of Charlie Kirk for my own
No, hold
political
on,
gain.
hold on.
Check if you did what?
Hold on. So what you're saying here is that it's political gain. If I am a friend of the president, and the president and his vice president, I've worked with them, I've worked to get them elected, I think it's within reason for them to go
Wick flag almost dead. Oh my lord. Okay, thank God my flag is still up. Holy shit.
to this event because it is inherently political.
If they
because it is
wanna-
a political assassination. And for JD Vance to say, hey, I'm speaking as a Christian, this man was a Christian, he embodied the values.
It's not about
that's why we
speaking
work
as a
together.
Christian.
There's nothing wrong with that. And it's kind of despicable
not
that
about
you're coming
as-
after them for their beliefs and sitting here rallying everybody together around Charlie Kirk's death. This is a rallying
It's not
moment
rallying
of
people
our
around
Christian.
Charlie Kirk's death. It has nothing to do with Charlie Kirk's death at that point. If they want to go there and speak and eulogize him, then fine. Talk about how he was a good man. Talk about how he was your friend.
I'm just gonna say this right now. Wick TV, okay, for as much as I dislike this guy, okay, he hosts better panels than Piers Morgan, okay? I can't stand Piers Morgan, dude.
And leave it at that. Don't make it about the whole political violence.
The only reason I watch Piers Morgan is so many significant people are on there, and it's more mainstream. So that's why I stand it, but otherwise it's just so cringe.
On your side and demonize
He was
the left while you do
assassinated.
it. And demonize
Wait,
the left while you do it. Not by the
Don't
left,
make
not by the whole entire
assassination funeral
party.
assassination.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Don't make it
Don't do
about
assassination
your
funeral.
political
Like,
agenda.
don't
Don't
put a
make
hole
it
in his
about
throat. Like,
demonizing the left. Don't make it
Do you
about.
think Charlie Kirk would have liked it? I just want you to ask you that because
He would have fucking loved it. He would have absolutely loved it. For all those, for all the reasons that we find it despicable and horrifying.
understand,
For
but-
example,
Oh no, don't get me wrong, the production quality is total trash doo-doo butter, okay? Alright, but, you know, beggars can't be choosers, right?
Gibbs, I have a question for you.
It should be.
Sure, Gibbs, I have a question for you. Who got the keynote speech
Whoa.
at Charlie Kirk's funeral?
Who got the keynote speech? I mean,
Who got the keynote speech? Who got the keynote speech at Charlie Kirk's funeral?
I don't know. What you tell me? Where are we going with this?
It was Trump.
Okay.
He
Yeah,
cucked the widow at her own husband's funeral.
Yeah.
For one,
listen,
and for
good
two,
for you,
and
because
for
her speech
two,
was fucking
not, for two,
awful.
not
I'm
only
sorry.
did
Her
Erica, not
speech was
only did
awful.
Erica, well, first of all, not only did Erica go before Trump and gave the whole "I forgive the shooter" thing, which is great. That's good. I think that's a good thing for people to do to like bring down the temperature, right? But then right after that, right, we get
Wick has the best background setup, highly polished. That's bait.
their leader himself coming on stage talking about how the one thing that he didn't
can't get
agree with
me.
Kirk
Fuck
on
you.
was that he hates his enemies and he
Can I
hates
ask you
his
a question?
political
Can I
opponents.
ask you a question?
It's disgusting.
Let me ask you a question because you're calling this. Oh, he cucked the widow. All right. Well, I would agree with you if this was actually his funeral, but they didn't have the body out there. They didn't take pallbearers and bear. No, this was a memorial, right? And at memorials, what you do is you have the largest impact person speak at the end. Erica, well, she was a very important part of that. She's very important to the movement. She's important to Charlie. She's all these things. She's the widow. She's aggrieved. Yes, she absolutely should have a keynote speaking point, like a high level part, which and she did. She was one of the major speakers. Now, absolutely, you're going to have the man speak as the keynote speaker that Charlie Kirk spent the last 10 years working on putting in office. Like, that's ludicrous that you think that
Do you think that?
Like,
do you think that Trump? Do you think that
What world
Trump and
are you in?
Erica's? Do you think that Trump and Erica's speeches were contradictory in tone?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think
So
that
when Erica comes on, and says, "I forgive the shooter," that's what a good Christian does, and this shouldn't be happening in America. And then
Was that shit on the shelf? I think that's meant to be Warhammer figurines. But like, it's you can't see it like at all.
Trump comes on after her and says, "I hate my enemies. The radical left is responsible for this, and we're going to destroy them." Goebbels was, I mean, Miller was cooking. Okay.
Well, hold on. I have an answer
Did you
for
actually
this.
watch
Yeah,
it?
I did actually watch
it.
it. I actually watched it. I do have an answer for this. First one, you're coming from two different perspectives. One, you have the aggrieved widow who's arguing from her Christian standpoint. She's sitting here forgiving them, and she's doing what she can from a personal standpoint. Then you have the leader of the free world. You have Donald Trump coming in here going, "Hey, my friend is dead." The Christian thing, he acknowledged that Charlie Kirk was a Christian that was better than. Hold on. He acknowledged that Charlie Kirk was a better man than him, and he was a Christian, and all these things. He acknowledged it. And then he said, he admitted, this is a flaw of mine. No, I don't do this. I hate. And guess what? I hate my enemies. I hate the people that killed them. That's what Trump did. And as a leader of a political party,
who do you think should be able to dictate the tone? Who do you think should be able to dictate
the leader of the
tone
movement that Charlie Kirk worked for should be able to dictate the tone.
Not his wife? Trump thinks is more important than
Who
what his
actually
wife
cares
thinks?
about any of this? This is stupid.
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay.
None
Okay.
of
One
this
at a time.
actually matters. The point is that Trump came on and in his speech, he said things like, "No side in American politics as an
Based. Oh, sorry. Listen, okay. I may or may not have been advising Peach. I may or may not have been advising Peach during this debacle for a little bit, for a tiny, tiny itty bitty bit. Okay, for a tiny, tiny itty bitty bit. I may or may not have. Okay. Okay. I was sending her quotes. Okay.
monopoly on disturbed or misguided people, but there's one party of our political community which believes that they have a monopoly on truth, goodness, and virtue, and concludes that they have a monopoly on power, thought, and speech.
Ow.
Well, that's not happening anymore. We've turned that corner very quickly. So they're making it about how we're not going to let Charlie, die this way, and his voice is going to continue. And so now we're going to promote that up, and we are going to. No, it wasn't. It's because he's making it about. No, it's because the president of the United States is saying that because of his death, we're going to now basically do a war on liberals and speech from liberals. Yeah, and that's not appropriate.
Not just right.
Well, you're saying we haven't gotten to that part, but you're talking about whether or not Trump and Erica Kirk have the same message. No one gives a fuck.
Okay, I want Rube. You can.
Good. Yeah. True. Okay, at first, when I was watching the panel in my free time, I was like, "Oh no, Peach could have done better," or something like that. But now that I'm rewatching it, she's doing perfectly fine. I mean, she's peeking the mic a little bit too much. She's definitely peeking the mic a little bit too much, but yeah, she's doing fine.
Respond to that, please.
No, because Erica Kirk's message really resonates with the religious right about forgiveness, and he's a martyr, and I'm going to die for my freedoms. You had to kill me before I stop defending your freedoms. That's generally the line of thought for the religious right, who like to lose. They like the thought of being martyrs. They like the idea that they would all hold hands and be killed for their beliefs. But that's not acceptable in American politics. You have to go to war. It's I will kill you. I'm coming for my rights.
Who are you going to kill, Rube?
You to get it.
Who are you coming to kill?
Let me finish.
Okay.
He has to be doing this in a fake way, right? Like there's no way this Vosh accent is like real, right? What the fuck is Steven doing?
Okay, I'm gonna assume that that's working.
Okay, I don't. Okay, cool.
I'm not going to tell you ahead of time. First of all,
Some names.
Jesus Christ!
I'm just curious.
Stop posting, Wick. Stop
But
fed
in
posting,
regards to
Rick.
the people who are actively killing us and who are actively restricting our speech, who have done so for the past 10 years, there needs to be some accountability for these people. They need to bend the knee. They need to
Who
kiss the
killed Charlie
ring.
Kirk?
They need to walk peacefully into jail.
Who killed Charlie
or we're
Kirk?
going to push them there at the
Leftist
point of
ideology
bayonets.
killed Charlie Kirk.
That's what we need.
This guy has to be trolling, right? Like there's no way Timu Vosh here is not trolling. This guy is not a real person. Like, no one has this voice. Who the fuck? What? Dude, he's not. There's no way this guy's real. Bro.
From
ideology.
That's what we
Charlie
needed
Kirk.
from Erica Kirk,
Yeah, how
frankly.
many people celebrated his death and called for more of it?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, and we've seen
Tell
it.
me,
No,
tell me, tell me who. I'm looking at the political leaders for that answer. Look at
How
our
about
political leaders on the
How about
right.
Ilhan Omar?
I'm looking at our political leaders for that.
Ilhan Omar, there's one right there.
Mentioned Charlie Kirk and all the congressional people like
That's
booed
the
him, and
problem.
we're like it's this is happening within our own.
No, it's because
Congress.
because on
Wait,
on
can you source
Friday,
that Ilhan Omar tweet?
because the issue
Wait,
that
Wait, Gay Vosh has been. I'm sorry. I'm just so confused. This guy is confusing me. Okay. It's not even the good kind of confusion. Okay, it's the bad kind of confusion. I just don't get what the fuck is like. What is he? Stop! What is he doing? Like, I'm so confused by this guy. Okay, whatever, man. Also, hold on. Let me go to the bathroom first. Okay. I've been going in a row for a little bit now. So yeah, I'm going to go to the bathroom. Okay, we're back. Okay, wait. Meow.
his speech, he said things like, no side in American politics has a monopoly on disturbed or misguided people, but there's one party of our political community which believes that they have a monopoly on truth, goodness, and virtue, and concludes that they have a monopoly on power, thought, and speech. Well, that's not happening anymore. We've turned that corner very quickly. So they're making it about how we're not going to let Charlie, die this way, and his voice is going to continue. And so now we're going to promote that up, and we are going to. No, it wasn't. It's because he's making it about. No, it's because the president of the United States is saying that because of his death, we're going to now basically do a war on liberals and speech from liberals. Yeah, and that's not.
We haven't even got
appropriate.
Just right.
Well, you're saying we haven't gotten to that part, but you're talking about whether or not Trump and Erica Kirk have the same message. No one gives a fuck.
Okay, I want Rube. You can respond to that, please.
No, because Erica Kirk's message really resonates with the religious right about forgiveness, and he's a martyr, and I'm going to die for my freedoms. You had to kill me before I stop defending your freedoms. That's generally the line of thought for the religious right, who like to lose. They like the thought of being martyrs. They like the idea that they will all hold hands and be killed for their beliefs. But that's not acceptable in American politics. You have to go to war. It's I will kill you. I'm coming for my rights.
Who are you going to kill, Rube?
You to get it.
Who are you coming to kill?
Let me finish.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you ahead of time. First of all, that seems
Jesus
silly.
Christ!
I'm just curious.
Stop posting, Wick. Stop
But in
posting,
regards to
Wick.
the people who are actively killing us and who are actively restricting our speech, who have done so for the past 10 years, there needs to be some accountability for these people. They need to bend the knee. They need to
Who
kiss the
killed Charlie
ring.
Kirk?
They need to walk peacefully into jail.
Who killed Charlie
or we're
Kirk?
going to push them there at the point of bayonets. That's what we need
No,
from
Benjamin
Trump.
killed
That's what we
Charlie
needed
Kirk.
from Erica Kirk,
How many
frankly.
people celebrated his death and called for more of it?
Yeah,
like
and we've seen.
Tell me who. I'm looking at our political leaders for that answer. Look at our political leaders on the right. I'm looking at our political leaders for that.
Ilhan Omar, there's one right there.
Mentioned Charlie Kirk and all the congressional people like booed him, and we're like it's this is happening within our own.
No, it's because
Wait,
on
can you source
Friday.
that Ilhan Omar tweet?
Because the issue because what happened? No, because what happened was they wanted to pass legislation to honor and recognize him as this wonderful man and for his views, and so you have Democrats on the other side saying, I don't honor him, he doesn't represent my views. That's why they were talking about him in the first place. It had nothing to do with, there was no party and get together where they all just started shitting on him. It was they were stating why they weren't going to be in favor of supporting and propping him up as this god speaker for all of American people, because he's just not.
Do you deny that?
No, they asked for a moment of silence.
Hold on,
Just briefly, they asked for a
hold
moment
on.
of silence.
Hold on.
I have.
So, you're talking about two different things here, okay? So one is the when it first happened, they called for a moment of silence within I think it was Congress, I think it was the House, it might have been the Senate though, and there was a altercation, a verbal altercation there. The second thing that's happened is they called for a resolution to honor the memory of Charlie Kirk and things like that, and that's what Peaches is referring to. But I want to give the mic.
Situation.
Yeah, I want to give the mic. I want to give the mic to Confluence, who's been trying to talk. So Confluence, here's the mic. Go what you want.
Thank you for the mic. I just want to know if you really truly believe that isn't large swaths of your own party celebrating the death of a political assassination. Because, like, are you saying that's not true? Like,
saying I haven't seen it. No, it's not.
You
Show
haven't
me.
seen it, really?
No.
You haven't. Wow. Okay.
Why don't you show me? Okay. Why don't you show me?
No, he's gonna start pulling up. He's gonna start pulling up like 10 follower fucking Twitter accounts and TikTok. Like that's what he's gonna start pulling, right?
Hey, let's pull up Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel. What did Jimmy Kimmel say? What did Jimmy Kimmel say?
Went on and lied about the shooter. So
what was the lie? What was the lie?
Trying to distance themselves from the shooter.
Obviously
we need to clarify. Obviously implying. Obviously implying that the shooter was right-wing or MAGA, that Charlie Kirk was killed for not being right-wing enough, which is totally insane.
What did Kimmel say? What were his words? Give me the quote. What did he say?
Trying to distance themselves from the shooter. Do you want the full quote? We should pull up the full quote.
I want the full quote.
Well, while you're doing that, let's talk about quotes. Let's talk about another quote.
I don't believe I haven't seen mass people celebrating. I don't believe that.
Well, conflict.
Have you seen the right celebrating and saying that we need to go to war with Democrats and we need to consider Democrats to be a domestic terrorist organization?
I'm doing it here.
Okay,
doing it here
at least you
because it's a
recognize
self-defense
that.
situation.
Laura Loomer.
Let me just
hold on. Don't associate me with Laura Loomer. Come on. I changed my mind.
Let's talk about these quotes, though, because we had another quote that was brought up, and it was actually a quote of mine that, what was your name, sir? Was it Mechanized Influence? What was your name?
Moto?
I'm
Moto. Sorry. Thank you. I have a concussion, so I apologize. I'm going to probably mess some things up. But listen, if what you're saying is true about, hey, Gibbs was out here saying XYZ before we had evidence. I saw evidence. I thought supported my claim. And guess what? I ended up being 100% correct. Just like I was right about the election, just like I was right about this. And several other times I've called these things out for being right. And lo and behold, like the prophet coming down from the heavens, I was right again. And so when you're sitting here talking about lies, we can talk about lies. We can sit here talk about lies. We can talk about what Kimmel did, which was outright lie, which is a problem. That's totally different area.
What's the problem?
Can
you expand on what the problem is?
The problem is
an
FCC violation. He has a public broadcast license under the FCC. I could pull it up right now.
What was the lie?
Notice none of them have read his quote. Notice how none of them have read his quote yet. Do I have to look it up on my phone?
Someone was pulling it up.
I got the quote. Do you guys want me to read the quote?
Read the tweet, boys, because nobody here knows how to read a tweet, apparently. Regardless, the point is, I'm not sitting here saying he needed to be taken down. In fact, Charlie Kirk's own organization, Turning Point, has asked South Park's episode to be put back on the air. They're saying that's what Charlie would have wanted. I've seen some arguments, but if we really want to dive down into this, and we want to talk about which party is censorship gods, I don't think the Dems are going to be able to win that battle. That's like throwing a rock in a glass house after the information that just came out yesterday.
I'll fight you there.
The hypocrisy that's happening when they do this. The hypocrisy is outstanding, and it's ridiculous that y'all can sit here with a straight face and even try to gaslight us.
YouTube sending a letter saying that Biden administration was pressuring them. That's utterly ridiculous.
Wait. First of all, stop. One thing needs to be made abundantly clear. All of those allegations.
Oh boy. Did I miss anything important? I couldn't have, right?
Level tactics.
Hold on. Moto, finish, and then you can reply, Gibbs. Go ahead.
Sure.
Okay, so first of all, about that letter from that law firm, right? Every instance of this pressure of censorship, right, was apparently done by the Biden administration, but over that same period of time, they were able to show a demonstrable reduction.
Oh, are they talking about the COVID censorship?
In moderation standards, in shrinking their moderation teams. So while this so-called pressure was underway, they were loosening moderation more and more and more.
Alphabet wanted to do the right thing. They said that. Alphabet said that in a letter. They tried to go against it, but they said senior Biden administration officials.
If we're talking about the COVID shit, like, how could you possibly think that's a one-to-one comparison, right? COVID specifically, that was to prevent people from dying, okay? The Jimmy Kimmel shit was preventing the president's feelings from dying, okay? One is not equal to the other, all right? Stumbling. That's a lie. They had the money, moment of silence for Kirk, and it was done respectfully. But they want to do a pray, and the Dems want to include the school shooting that happened in Colorado. What, really? That somehow makes it worse.
The pressure didn't work. The pressure didn't work, right?
It doesn't matter.
Acknowledge that.
Not. First of all, a bunch of people got banned.
They were at odds.
Hold on. First of all, I've sat here and I've watched a lot of panels this last week, and I'm going to use the exact quotes from our dear beloved moderator Wick the Great. Here, I'm going to use his exact words, or a paraphrase from quite enough, so maybe not exactly. But
be careful what you say. I'm about to say.
If you
Go
disagree with this word statement, because you did say this, you said the FCC saying, "Hey, if you don't do this, we're going to pressure you, and we're going to file charges, we're going to do X, Y, Z." You said, and I quote, that is mob-style tactics.
True.
To do what we say.
I did say
Okay,
that.
cool. So we agree. So here's the same thing that the Biden administration did. And I hate to do this whataboutism game, but I'm only doing this to point out that.
Can you give me an example of the
Hold on,
Biden's FCC chair coming out and telling?
One second. You can go in a second. I waited. Here, listen.
Settle down.
Right. So it's real clear when we have YouTube saying that they did peer pressure them. We have the same style of the FCC. We have Google saying the same thing. We have Facebook. I think we have Twitter.
Sure. And my question is, why do you think they did that? Why do you think they did that? Right? Like it's really simple, right? Because let's just get down to the root cause of the issue. Why do you think they did that? They did that because, well, it seems like people were spreading misinformation, and they didn't want anyone to spread misinformation about a very like delicate issue, especially if the delicate issue is like surrounding people dying, right? Over 1 million Americans died to COVID, right? Well, why do you think? Because that's the answer, right? Why would you not moderate something that is causing so many deaths, right? We're not talking about the president's feelings getting hurt, right? We're not talking about that, right? The Biden administration did not threaten Alphabet or any other company. What did they do to YouTube anyway? Did they just simply ask them, or did they actually threaten action? Because there's no fucking shot in my mind. There's no fucking shot to me that it's even close, or resembling anything close to what these people are talking about. These people are talking about. Yes.
Saying, I mean, we can go on. There's a litany of these different companies, social media companies, saying they were pressured by members of the Biden administration in the same manner as what the host here just claimed was a mob-level tactics. The only difference is one's the head of the FCC and the other are, well, we don't really know all the facts yet because they did such a good job hiding it, but we're definitely official members of the Biden team. To me, it just seems like, oh, well, exact same. And so I guess it's...
So here's the question.
Holds a public broadcast license.
Wait.
That's a privilege. It's not a right.
Don't worry. Don't worry. We're getting back to Kimmel. We're rotating back to that. But just to address that real quick, has there been any evidence shown of these memos, these emails, or whatever, or are you just going off of a YouTube or Alphabet lawyer saying, "Trust me, bro"? Aren't you the same people that were saying back in 2020 to 2024 that you couldn't trust these fucking companies at all? And now you're just trusting them just because they agree with you?
House Judiciary Committee. That's who I'm getting this info from. So I guess
You got it from that letter. Can you read?
Oh yeah. So the House Judiciary Committee just doesn't.
The King and Spalding letter. Yes.
You know
King
more
in the
House Judiciary Committee. You heard it here
No,
first.
I know that Jim Jordan. I know that Jim Jordan got that from that Alphabet.
The great. It's amazing. I'm impressed.
What's your theory on why Alphabet would then release this letter and admit that they were dealing with all this pressure? You think, like why Alphabet?
It's entirely, just to be clear, it's entirely possible that these people were just trying to score political points, political favor with the administration, because they were trying to engage in moderation against conservatives unfairly because they were previously trying to score points with the previous administration. I don't really care what the explanation is. Put them in jail or hang them.
God damn.
So,
Ever post about it? What is this? Unsurprisingly, Jim Jordan fucking lied about Google admitting to censorship under Biden. Let me see. Google admits censorship under Biden. Promises to end bans of YouTube accounts of thousands of American censors. Today, thanks to the oversight of Jim Jordan. Wait, what? Wait, how do you know this is lying? Oh my god, this is so long. Some of y'all may have seen the above note in the subpoena. Wait, why didn't Google come out to refute this? No? Okay. I wish there was more of a concise way of putting it, but I believe you. Okay.
So back to Kimmel. Let's rotate back to the Kimmel quote.
Someone read
Yeah,
the quote.
Jim.
Does
Okay, I got the quote up. I can read the
Yeah,
quote.
yeah,
The
yeah,
quote.
yeah.
Okay, this is
Or
a relevant
Steve Moderators
part.
got it.
This is a relevant part. Kimmel said in his Monday night monologue, and I quote, "The MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it." End quote.
Exactly. That is
So,
a lie.
Matt, you said
that's a lie.
How is it a lie?
Where is the lie?
How is it a lie?
Put him
Where's
in
the
jail.
lie?
He's implying that
It's literally
that
opinion.
the shooter was Mega.
Oh, he's implying something.
No,
so he
no,
didn't
no,
do
no,
anything.
no, no, no.
Listen,
What did he say? He
What
said
did Donald Trump
that
say
Mega-
about it?
One of them.
What did Donald Trump say
you-
about Jimmy
hold
Kimmel
on.
getting his job back? He didn't say anything that you're saying. Look at the words from Donald Trump
No,
himself.
the exact-
His own
Donald
tweet.
Trump?
I can't.
I don't
Oh,
think
you
that's
don't
what
actually
he
care about
says.
Donald Trump.
We were just
You don't
hold on.
care
We were
about what
just
Donald Trump has to say.
Whenever I get a chance.
You don't
Jesus
care
Christ, one at a time, one at a time, one at a time, one at a time.
Who the fuck says it's an
Hold
FCC
on.
violation? Who are you to say that? Donald Trump doesn't give a fuck. That's not why he wanted him off the air.
FCC is the one who can say it, and he said we're going to look into it and we're going to figure it out. And if
Okay,
you
but
read
he's
the
back now.
FCC website,
Great.
you can see. Yeah, and I hope the
So,
FCC investigates.
I think
'cause
it's funny.
It could have been a violation.
It's really funny. It was. Hold on. It's really funny. It's really funny
You have
that
to do
Charles
these
said.
mind games
Hold on,
to be
hold on.
implied something.
Really-
All of a sudden,
it's really-
that's so
hold on.
dangerous.
He's
He's
hold on, hold on.
implying something
Here.
that you
Hold
don't
on.
like. The
It's
truth
really-
is that he is
Come
just
fluid.
like all of the
Come
other
fluid.
people.
Hold on, one at a time.
Violence
All of you,
constantly. I don't care
Peach,
what
Peach,
side
Peach,
you're
Peach,
on.
stop, Peach, one at a time. No one can
My
hear you
ears
when you're
hurt.
all screaming at each other. So Peach, finish your point. Then we're gonna go Confluence, and we're gonna go Gibbs, and then we're gonna go.
For the record, okay, Peach is right, but only because listen, okay. Based, okay. I think I stopped watching personally. I think personally I stopped watching somewhere around here, around the 30-minute mark. So we're closing up on the part where I stopped watching in private, because I had to run errands for the day. But yeah.
Go Moto. That's the order. Peach, Confluence, Gibbs, Moto. Go.
You're saying that it's a lie because he is implying that he was on the right, not the left, that he didn't have the political
Peach is
ideology
awesome,
that you
right?
believe that he did. When really, at the end of the day, political violence is political violence, and the people that are perpetuating political violence, unfortunately, currently, are Republicans. I don't know why you're laughing when Donald Trump is literally saying that we need to demonize all the radical left. We need to go after them. In all of his speeches, he's saying that we need to go after the left so hard. He's going to investigate all of these different organizations. We need to go after each. He's just demonizing people, and he's perpetuating. He's just continuing the political violence.
By the way, Alex Jones and Nick Fuentes are both unbanned on YouTube. What? Dude, watch. They're gonna unban Levy next, dude. It's over.
Like he always does. Look at all of Trump's history. All he cares about is political violence, and he doesn't do anything to stop it. He likes this. He's just he's propping it up, and that's exactly what the shooter did. So I mean, even
Okay.
you can look at Donald Trump's own quote when they brought Kimmel back. He's
Can I
saying
speak?
things.
Peach.
No, he's saying things like his talent was over there. Why would they want someone back who does so poorly? That's not funny. He is yet another arm of the DNC, and to the best of my knowledge, that would be majored in my illegal campaign contributions. So if we're talking about the reason why Jimmy Kimmel shouldn't be on the air, it doesn't have to do with the FCC. Now he's talking about illegal campaign contributions. So
Okay.
I don't even know what it is that
Okay,
you're
we're
on.
gonna-
Whatever your fucking
You're
cope
doing a
is.
hell of a
Political
Trump
violence is
weave right
political
now,
violence.
Peach.
We're
You're
gonna
doing a hell
pass
of a
it to
Trump
Confluence.
weave.
I
Confluence,
can't wait to
Gibbs.
hear whatever the
Back.
fuck is gonna come out of your mouth. Go for it. Let's see how it
Confluence,
goes.
go ahead.
Good.
Go for it.
Well,
Speak.
I would say that what Jimmy Kimmel did is, again, my point is that it's a possible FCC violation. I can read it to you. The rule prohibits broadcast licensees and permittees from broadcasting false information concerning a crime or catastrophe.
information.
Okay? There is. The guy wrote, "Hey, fascist, catch" on the bullet casings, and oh, Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Bella
Violence.
Chow, Chow, Chow. This is
Net
so
violence.
clearly.
Wait.
Violence.
To clarify, what was on the bullet was Bella Chow, Bella Chow. That translates to catch this fascist.
No, that's
No,
not true.
no, there's
That's
two
not
separate
true.
bullets.
Good misinformation,
There were
though.
two separate. Weren't there four?
Don't forget about the most important bullet, okay? Bulgy Wulgy. It's the most important bullet to me, at the very least. Okay,
Bullets?
stop.
Weren't there four
Oh,
bullets?
yes,
The
four
first one
bullets,
had that-
There was-
four
if
different
you're
mark.
reading this,
Okay,
you're
okay,
gay. This is-
shut.
this
All
is
of you shut up.
divulge.
I want to make sure everyone gets this clear. One bullet said, "Hey, fascist, catch," and it had right arrow, down arrow, 3 up arrow, something like that, right? And then
It's the Hell Bomb. It's the 500 kg bomb. It's the 500 kg bomb. In Helldivers. Oh my god, should I return to Helldivers?
the second bullet had Bella Chow on it. Okay, that said, those are
I
facts.
misunderstood. I
Go.
thought the Helldivers
You're
bullet
fine.
was
Let's give
different
it back
than the
to
Bella Chow
Confluence.
bullet.
Yep.
So we have
We're gonna give it back
we
to
have two
Confluence.
bullets
Ew.
with anti-fascist rhetoric on
Sorry.
it, and we have his parents
Okay.
saying that he was talking about hating Kirk, and he has a trans girlfriend. And if you were going to seriously sit there and
Please,
tell
we
me
stretch
that this
definition.
person was possibly MAGA and that Jimmy Kimmel
How about a nice cup of liberty? For super.
for a second in his retarded mind thought, even he's not that retarded to think that the shooter is on the right. That's just
So
bad. That is
stupid.
dangerous misinformation that he's
These
promoting.
shooters-
He killed one of us, and they're
Wait.
blaming it on us. It's absurd.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Hold
Is
on.
it my turn now? Hold
Gibbs,
on.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
no,
so
you go ahead. It was your turn.
Appreciate it. Thank you. So okay, I like kind of take issue with this. And I kind of agree with Confluence here. First, we were asked if we knew the quote, right? And then Wick read the quote, and it proved to be exactly what we said, right?
No,
his
it
exact
didn't.
word. Hold on. His
No, you
exact
won't
words.
even let us
His
attack. You won't
exact
even let us
Yeah,
words.
it
attack
is
what the
exactly
lie
what I
is.
quoted.
His exact
You're
words.
gonna go
are-
next. After Gibbs, you're gonna go next, Moto. I promise. So let Gibbs go, and then you can respond to it all. Moto, you'll have the floor, but let Gibbs finish, please. Thank you.
All right, his exact words, MAGA gang, was desperately trying to characterize the kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them. Okay, cool. Let's do an English lesson real quick. MAGA gang, that's the subject, all right? You see them? That's the person, right? Anything other than one of them. That would be the implication back to the MAGA gang, right? That's
You're
not
playing
even
their game
hold
right
on.
now.
No, we're not playing a game. Hold on. This is literally a direct sentence. It's in the same sentence. So it's not even just an implication. It's a direct statement saying he is a MAGA person, right? That's like not even questionable. If you understand English, maybe you need to go back to school for it. I don't know. But further, what they did on top of this is if you saw a Confluence, they asked us what happened, right? And they asked us about the quote. And then once they got called on their bullshit about the quote, they immediately started to whatever. They're deflecting to something else because, we don't have anything of substance. We know Jimmy Kimmel said something heinous and false. And then,
He didn't say
hey,
anything
we're going
heinous
to
and
start
false.
talking about bobbing and weaving over here with the Biden, with what the Trump said this, they said this. And it's crazy because, they had the same sort of pressure through all these other groups. We know this for a fact. The House Judiciary Committee has released some initial findings. And now they're going to sit here and go, no, it's totally different now. And then go, why are Republicans playing the game that we're playing? Well, we're tired of playing from behind all the time. And now it's consequences for your actions. And now y'all don't like having to take accountability. That's the one where the Democrats don't have is accountability. They never take accountability for any.
What? The Republican Party would rather take a cock up the ass than to have any kind of accountability. All right? They would rather have a 15-inch cock rammed up their fucking rectum, okay, before any kind of accountability fucking comes their way. Okay? So, I don't know what planet this guy's living on, but,
Anything ever. It's crazy.
Listen,
I'm not going to
first
take
of all-
accountability for somebody shooting at somebody else. That's just not my game. You should recognize that too. Sorry, go ahead.
So first of all, listen to these two guys right now. Listen to them justifying political violence while decrying the implication that it's coming. Is it my turn? Is it my turn? I thought it was my turn.
Moto, go ahead. Moto, please.
So first of all, listen to these two guys justify political violence while in the same sentence decrying the perceived political violence from the other side. Second of all, Gibbs, I'm so glad that you showed me that you know how sentences work, because that tells me that you're not retarded, you're just bad faith. Because the rest of that sentence that you conveniently chopped off was anything other than them, implying not that MAGA is trying to MAGA is just trying to prove that he's not MAGA. That's it. He could be a far left, he could be a liberal, he could be a groiper, he could be whatever, right? The thing is that they were bending over backwards to prove that he was any one of these other things. And that is true. There is no lie there. Right?
And he wasn't MAGA. I'll say this right now. He wasn't MAGA. Jimmy Kimmel wasn't saying that he's MAGA. We know that he wasn't MAGA, but he was because he was talking about how his parents were MAGA.
So what, you think he's a groiper? Like what?
I don't give a fuck what he is. Who cares? Who cares? You care because you're using this to further. No. You're doing it because your party is about doing political violence and committing political violence onto other people. Your president is saying that it was the radical left terrorists who did it because all you can do, all you have to do.
Remember those? Yeah.
What about Melissa Hortman? What about the attack on Melissa Hortman?
Melissa Hortman. Everybody talking about the Pelosi.
What you're saying? No, I need to jump in here for a second, just to bridge this. Your position is that Jimmy Kimmel is speaking to the scramble to characterize him as something other than.
Oh my God!
Right?
No, it's because all you want to do is you need to paint him as a radical left terrorist, so you can continue to perpetuate political violence against the left, because that's all Trump's message is. That is all MAGA cares about right now. All MAGA wants to do is persecute the left. He has to be
let Rube finish.
A lefty.
Let Rube finish.
That's what I'm saying. That's
because
what,
if he's a lefty, then we can perpetuate political violence. No, what the fuck are you on?
That's just the fact.
Yeah, and so now we can commit political violence against him.
What fact?
And that's just like the guy Moto who's saying that me and Gibbs want political violence. What the fuck did I say that made you think I want political violence? You lied about me in your opener, and you're lying through your teeth now. Maybe you just don't understand how words work.
Can we all right, let's just for funsies here. Just for funsies. I want to see if we can all agree on something here. All right. Who here, and I know Pete, you're gonna say it doesn't matter, but let's just play this game real quick. Who here thinks that this guy was a leftist? Yes or no? Like if you think he's leftist,
to be clear, Tyler Robinson?
The Charlie Kirk shooter.
Yeah, probably.
So we all think Okay, so 4 people here think yes.
Wick the Human Ewok is a liar, and I've seen it firsthand. Okay, which one? Which part is the part that you're saying that you've seen it firsthand? The part where he's an Ewok, or the part where he's a liar?
What? What does it mean?
Well,
What
so
does it mean
that's
to
it.
be
Well, what
a
it
leftist?
means, what
Hold
it
on, what
means
does it
is
mean?
that two of us don't think he's a leftist,
It means
which
two
is
of
the
us are incredibly bad.
which is,
What's the
which is
point?
hold on. Well, I'm
What
gonna
does
tell
it
you the point.
mean?
Which is either that two of y'all either don't think he's leftist, so either one, y'all are being intentionally dishonest, or two, then y'all just that misinformed that this
So,
conversation is
hold
not
on.
worth continuing.
Gibbs.
Or
I don't really
three,
care
this
if
is
I don't
this is
care
the
if
more
Tyler
important thing.
Robinson
Hold
turns
on,
out to be a
hold on,
leftist.
hold
That
on, hold on.
doesn't matter.
No, it does matter, and I'm going to tell you why. Because three, it does matter because we sit here and we've had this game where we've been told for the last 50 years or 20 years or however long that political violence is right leaning. The right's the problem. The cis white male, he's evil. And then suddenly we go and start looking at the numbers. We start looking at the facts and high profile things. In the last 2 weeks, we've had a ton of leftist violence, but the left is sitting here going, nah, most
What
of these guys
leftist violence?
What's the
aren't
leftist
even
violence in
leftist.
the past 2 weeks?
What
Okay, let's
leftist
go through it
violence?
again. I said it in my opener.
Again?
We had
Yeah, it was literally in his opener.
No,
Oh, it
stop.
was gonna be Charlie
no,
Kirk
stop.
murdered.
Actually, no.
Charlie Kirk murdered.
I want-
We had the shooter at ABC affiliate running for Kimmel. That guess what? That guy's out on bail or whatever. He shot up that ABC affiliate and he said it was specifically because of Kimmel and he was going to go
So-
after right-leaning politicians next. Okay. Then we have a wedding
Why
where
would
they
he
had
go
free
after
power.
Kimmel?
If he
was left-leaning, why would-
To be fair, I mean, okay, I'm not gonna finish what I was gonna say.
Go after Kimmel?
Okay, you guys are hold on.
I'm answering the question you asked.
Let Gibbs
which
go,
the
and then
third
Moto.
was They
Gibbs
had
and
a
Moto.
wedding at a golf club that was shot up by a person that yelled "Free Palestine" and started shooting. And then we have people shot today at an ICE facility by someone who is a known leftist with Antifa stuff, all of their profile, and their mother an active
We don't know anything
Republican.
about that
We
yet.
do.
How
No,
did-
we do. We
No,
do
we
know.
do
I'm sorry.
not.
This is once again bad faith in you. They have profile pictures
Bad
with
faith.
Antifa. Hold on, Antifa stuff in their
It
profile.
literally
I
is.
can't say that. Their mom is a known Democrat advocator here, where it lines up one for one. And guess what? Surprise! In the last 4 weeks, we've had up 5 shootings. And guess what? When I say it's leftist violence, y'all go, it doesn't matter suddenly. But for the
Yeah, I
last
have a
3
very
years,
important
you
question
told me
here.
right-wing violence was a problem.
Whenever
Hold
you're
on.
done.
Hold on.
How is somebody-
Hold on.
how-
Oh, hey.
I'm gonna listen.
Hey, Gibbs.
Oh my god, my ears really love the fucking raping that is going on right now. Holy shit. My ears are like literally splitting apart right now. Holy fuck. Oh my god. Jesus.
Everyone, you gotta stop yelling it over each other. I don't want to mute people, but I will. Okay, Gibbs, finish. Then Moto.
Yeah, thank you. And so lastly here, so after you asked me the question, I've laid this out, right? But the reason this is important is for the last like 10 years, 20 years, y'all told us, oh, it's all right-wing violence, it's a problem. And now that suddenly leftist violence is a problem, y'all are going, oh, well, it doesn't really matter who was fighting. And you just see how bad faith and dishonest it is? It's because, oh, we were suddenly the problem the whole time. And now that we see y'all are a problem, y'all are going, well, poo-poo, that's not fair.
So,
No.
first of all,
No,
again,
no,
hold on,
no,
real quick.
We're not saying poo-poo is not there. We're saying
That's what you're
you can't go after a whole entire group of people, the whole entire Democrat Party, and say that they are the ones that killed Charlie Kirk, and now we need to
They
do
are.
something to every
So,
single Democrat.
one,
We need to
they're
make
not.
them. We need to
Keith,
make
if I
them a
may.
domestic
Who
terrorist
said
organization
that?
because the dude
Keith,
that
if I
killed
may.
them
Who
may
said
have
that?
been left.
You're not even living
I
reality.
feel like
I've been
States.
mischaracterized.
You're
I feel like I
president.
haven't
Hold on,
received
hold
enough
on.
credit.
Democrats.
Moto is
All
accusing
Democrats.
confluence and Gibbs
Okay,
of
enough.
advocating political
Rube.
violence.
Rube, enough.
Well,
Moto.
that's me.
Moto, go ahead.
So, first of all, he keeps doing this. Like the
This wig panel is Prime Kai. Fucking Prime Kai coded, okay? Jesus Christ.
left ratcheted
Oh
it
my
up, right?
God.
With the whole "they called us Nazis" argument. 'Cause that's what he keeps doing, right? But conveniently forgets that the right has been doing this since like fucking McCarthy, with calling everybody commies and Marxists and socialists and fucking traitors and all of these other things, right? Like he's totally memory holding that all of that happened from the right as well. And secondly, the what do you think identifies him as necessarily a leftist?
Are you fucking kidding me, brother?
Have you followed
No,
the
that's a
story at all?
genuine question.
Yeah,
are you- totally valid question.
We can go point by point if you like. We can go point by point if you like.
Okay, let's
What
start with the bullet
was it
casings.
Okay.
How about
You
having
said
a-
point by
I think
point.
it's
I
fine. I would've
expected if
started
I'd
with
say
the
something, you have a
I would've
fucking
started-
response.
The correct move here, by the way, is to just simply say, I just don't see how it matters, I guess. Like why the fuck does this entire like even if he was a leftist, how does that detract from the main point that the Republicans have been upping the ante for years at this point? And how does it detract from the fact that it seems as though that Trump is still trying to like raise the temperature to this day, right? Like he's still trying to raise the temperature. It doesn't seem like he's lowering anything. and there are like lots of fucking recent quotes to prove it, right? Especially from the Charlie Kirk shit. And I know that we assign a lot of shit to Donald Trump, which is fine, I guess. But at the same time, you also have to think about his cabinet, because his cabinet, the executive branch, is representative of his entire administration, right? So if you bring up, including Stephen Miller, right, who is more powerful than anybody else as well, right, who has a louder voice than anybody else as well, then yeah, like you really have to consider the fact that, yeah, of course.
Target Charlie Kirk.
Are we gonna go over the bullet
point?
points?
Hey, I'm going to answer the fucking question. You can presume somebody's political affiliation based on who they kill. You can.
Can I say
It's
something?
not
This
totally
conversation.
damning
I will shut up the
evidence.
rest of this
It
conversation.
is a point in
shut
favor of the political affiliation.
Look, what
This guy is not a real person. There's no way this guy's a real person. I refuse to believe he has that voice, okay? How could you be somebody who looks at the way that Vosh speaks and think that that is possibly a good idea to copy his voice? Like, oh my god, dude.
I'm saying is, like, I actually agree with you, right? If you look at it holistically, like as a constellation of things, right? But it has to be a preponderance of this evidence that leads to a similar conclusion. So if I can demonstrate that each and every necessarily identifying leftist point that this guy, or checkbox that this guy might tick off, if I can explain each one of those points to a different, also consistent conclusion, that you can't say that he's necessarily leftist, or that any of these positions that he held were necessarily leftist.
Bro, this is why I say you're bad faith.
No, let me jump in here. I actually totally agree. Oh yeah, you first.
Notice that I don't want to engage with me.
I was called bad faith because I couldn't recognize that he was actually left, or I said that it didn't matter. The reason why it doesn't matter is because we have a problem in our country with political violence at the moment, regardless of.
True. Keep on this point. I believe I wasn't watching now at this point. But yeah, no, you should always just bring it back to everybody in total, right? Like, it doesn't really matter. Like, it really does not matter what ideology the shooter was all that much. It really does not matter. I know that a lot of people were hoping for the shooter to be Republican or a Groyper or something like that, right? I mean, that's fine. It could indicate something, right? But the overall problem is the fact that, the political violence, like the rhetoric in this country has been up to ridiculous standards, us to instigate stochastic terrorism. And there's plenty of examples to indicate that. And the person who has the loudest megaphone, who can simultaneously cause violence and lower the temperature on violence, is Trump, right? When Trump says that the entire Democratic Party and the left are just a bunch of radical lefties who just want to burn down everything, who just want to destroy everything, right? He has the biggest push because the rest of the Republican Party also follows suit, right? The rest of them also listen to Donald Trump, right? So yeah.
Side, I have
He
my
has the most
opinions, but regardless,
gullibility.
we have an issue with political violence and it needs to be stopped, and we need to figure out what to do. If we just continue to talk about, well, is it left or is it right, the only thing that's going to do is keep the finger pointed at the other side, and it's going to keep dividing, and it's going to create more
That's
political
true,
violence.
but that's a great Martin Bailey you just did.
It's because
Fantastic.
people.
I need to jump in here for a second because I do
Confluence and
agree that
Gibbs-
these people are not necessarily leftists, even though I think it's totally ridiculous. I could just say prima facie, yeah, probably a leftist based on who he killed. And I could be wrong later. Doesn't actually matter to me that much. A lot of people who go off and do shootings apparently have some kind of schizotypal disorder. They have some kind of mental illness. And while that is certainly higher on the left writ large, I think that's mostly like a rounding error, basically. I don't really care about that, though. What I care about is the reaction to the violence. So if somebody goes out, I said this in the Luigi panel, I don't really care if Luigi is personally a good person. I don't really care if personally he had a lot.
I mean, it's fine if you want to, talk about the reaction, but the reaction has to include the right? You can't just say reaction and then you only include the left. That's silly.
A lot of issues with healthcare or whatnot. I think that if a random mugger steps into an alleyway and happens to shoot, as a result of being a criminal, happens to shoot Hitler, or happens to shoot Stalin, then he's done something heroic, even if he didn't necessarily mean it. Similarly, I think if you come to embody, the left, and if people enjoy your action and celebrate it, and at the very least go off and defend and justify it, then that's what I have an issue with. What I have an issue with is the reaction.
Well, that's why I asked, right? Because this.
I mean, like, if you mug and kill Hitler, that's not necessarily a good thing depending on how it was done, right? um like if the purpose of that mugging was to rob somebody and you just happen to kill somebody who was like a supervillain or some shit, right? I mean, it's a good thing that that person is dead, but the problem is that the method that was used to do it was an evil method in of itself, right? It is a method that is incorrect, that is wrong, morally reprehensible, right? So you can't just say like, oh yeah, well, you go into an alley, you fucking kill Hitler, and be done with it, right? The idea that a right libertarian couldn't be anti-fascist and pro-trans is a big tell from these retards on the right. Sure. Yeah, sure as well. But like I'm also saying that, you know, it might not be the best idea to fight on this point. Just mainly because like more details could come out where the person was actually like a leftist, right? More details could come out to show that this person is in fact like you know, some kind of liberal, right? So the thing is that you shouldn't hinge yourself on that, but at the same time, you should definitely question people who go with that kind of narrative, right? Yeah.
This reaction is necessarily predicated on the fact that that he is a leftist, right? That's the pretext
No,
for
it's
all of
not.
this, right?
No, it's not.
Yes,
The people
no,
reacting
absolutely
to
it
it.
is. What do
No,
you
no,
mean?
not the right's
What do you
reaction. I
mean?
talk about the reaction. I mean, the left's reaction
talk
to
about
the
celebrate.
Like for example, your position should probably be, well, it doesn't really matter what ideology the person is. At the end of the day, it really we should focus on the pragmatic solutions going forward. And the most pragmatic solution is obviously to get Donald Trump to lower the temperature of the country right now, right? That is the most pragmatic thing to do right now. If you concentrate on anything outside of that, it feels as though you're doing whataboutisms. It feels like you're being bad faith, right? So yeah, like I just think that that should be the sole battle that is going on right now, because if you really just focus on anything else and you get bogged down in the weeds or something and you get into like a screaming match, I just don't think it's entirely productive, obviously. um I'll say like Peach is doing perfectly fine in my opinion, honestly. But like the only critique I'll probably give is like she's too loud. She's, yeah, it's just simply that she's too loud. She's peeking her mic. um I'm like, people might be like thinking more about how loud she is rather than the points that she is making, but the points she is making is correct though. Yeah, so rather it is more of a tone of the debate kind of thing, because in a panel full of people who are screaming at each other, you kind of want to have a more differentiating voice, usually a more calmer voice, so that you're able to stand out among the other people, because if everyone is screaming, then no one is standing out, right? And from what I kind of see, you should be able to you should be able to intermix shouting, not shouting. You should be able to intermix shouting and, okay, so yes, shouting. You should be able to intermix shouting and calm dialogue to create like a more dynamic effect, right? If the opponent is shouting, chances are you probably shouldn't be shouting. If the other person is calm, you could, if you have a justifiable reason, you could be shouting, right? Yeah, I don't know. Like this is the kind of stuff you kind of have to get a feel for when you're in a debate like this. But you know, with how chaotic this is, yeah, I just don't really expect any progress in the conversation being made, you know? But yeah.
Justifying it and enjoying it, right? That's what I mean.
Okay. Well, no. But you could also say that that's necessarily predicated by the rights actions, right? It's the same type of like where history starts bullshit that people like Confluence and Gibbs like to play with is the same thing that the unhinged fucking Israel-Palestine tankies like to do. It's like they pick the start of history to what is the best for their argument, right? So for right now, the start of history is when Charlie Kirk was murdered, right? Ignoring
when this guy
ignoring
died.
that Melissa Hortman. Let me finish. Ignoring the Melissa Hortman assassin, right? And then just in the same way that pro-Pally people will be like, well, October 7th was justified.
Listen, I don't know who bottom middle is. He's incredibly based, okay? I just want to say that. I don't know who he is, but he's being incredibly based right now. Hopefully people IRL don't think of him as a weirdo for shouting this much. Jesus Christ. I maybe he's in the middle of nowhere, who knows? Right? Maybe he's in his own fucking backyard. If he's in his own fucking backyard, it's justified.
When ignoring the thing that like predicated Israel's
funny.
response that led to that, right? Like it's this constant walking back of where you want to start the line so that you can point the finger at somebody else and say it was them without actually taking accountability for when that shit happens under your own fucking roof. And
Look, we can talk.
This is about.
We can talk about other instances. Yeah, we can go back to Oklahoma City bombing. I disavow that. That was right-wing terrorism. Like, what do you want from me? We're talking about Charlie Kirk. We're talking about an isolated event. If you
It's bad. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? It's bad. By the way, you can't pick and choose isolated events. I don't know about the beginning history thing. I mean, that could be a good point. But you should, like, evaluate this as in, like, using the same standard, right? Either we're evaluating this based off of like, what is it in a vacuum or is it not in a vacuum, or everything has to be in a vacuum, or everything has to be like with the greater context in mind, right? You can't evaluate these things. You cannot evaluate these things differently based off of whatever is most convenient for your opinion, right?
want to talk history? Yeah, there have been terrorism on both sides.
Conflicts. They do this every. They do this every time. They do this every time. Like I come on many panels, and it's been about 100 probably now, right? And we want to talk about Charlie Kirk. We're here to talk about Charlie Kirk Memorial, the aftermath, all these things. And then what they do is they go and bring up something that's not relevant further back. Like if we're talking about how good Trump is as a president, I guarantee you January 6th is going to come up. No matter if we're talking about border policy, if we're talking about the sky is cheese, it doesn't matter. We can be talking about the nitty gritty of a specific policy, and they're going to be like, no, but January 6th, same thing here. They're going to go, but Timothy McVeigh, but this guy, and it's just like we can't even talk about the issue at hand because they can't.
That's your best example. Wait. What about the Melissa Hortman assassin?
What about exactly?
What about the Melissa Hortman assassin?
Well, actually, hold on, perfect. Let's talk about it. Everybody. Hold on. They did a memorandum thing in the Senate or the Senate and the House, just like they did for Charlie Kirk. How many Republicans voted?
Did the flags get lowered to half staff for Melissa Hortman?
How many people voted against that?
Did the flags get lowered to half staff for Melissa Hortman? Gibbs, yes or no?
In the Republican Party.
I want you to answer Gibbs' question.
Yeah, don't answer a question with a question. How many people voted against that for the Melissa Hortman versus how many Democrats voted against Charlie Kirk? Do you see the problem here?
And how many people are celebrating that assassination versus this?
Wait. You challenged me to address a question. Who celebrated or like what?
No. So there was a vote. There was a vote from like memorandum. I don't know the exact wording for both Charlie Kirk and for the Hortmans, right? In the Senate and the House or whatever, right? And so all the Republicans voted, yeah, we should do something. We should all be in memorandum, take a moment of silence, do et cetera, whatever it is, right? I'm paraphrasing. And then when it comes to what happened with Charlie Kirk, do you know how many Democrats did the same thing? Oh no, there was about a ton of them that said no, we're not going to do that. And so it's terrible.
Just real quick. Hold on, just real quick, because again, this is a point of fact. The Hortman memorandum was significantly different than the Kirk memorandum. The Kirk memorandum had a lot more to it than the Hortman did, so they weren't the same.
That's convenient.
What?
Well, they just actually weren't.
It's not convenient that it agrees with us, you fucking ghoul.
What more did it have? What more did it
have?
have?
The Kirk one, I can bring them up both to get the wording, but the Kirk one, like, let me get the exact wording. So I don't
but the point is,
he's lying with Kirk. It was prayer. If it's a prayer, wouldn't that be kind of weird if, like, they're Muslim? Wait, I'm so confused.
It's splitting hairs, but no Republicans.
This kind of splitting hairs is why we need to tackle you guys and just absolutely fucking.
No, it was a moment of silence, right? It was a moment of silence with Kirk, right? Like to be clear, it was a moment of silence, right? From what I remember.
The flags lowered.
Who's celebrating? I want to know how many people are celebrating.
It's not easy to recover from in 4 years.
You're gonna make me go to Twitter on stream. This is gonna be good.
Prison time. I'm talking about deportations. I'm talking about ramming through every single policy that we could get away with. I'm talking about destroying every single institution that the left has been infesting like termites.
Okay, exactly. Because when Trump did his address to the American people the night of Charlie Kirk's assassination, we were actually here. That was fun. I was here with Wick during that time. When he started talking about political violence and how there's this huge issue on the left with political violence, he made it about the left, and he conveniently left out all of the political violence that was perpetuated against people from the left, like Melissa Hortman, because he needs to perpetuate this narrative in his movement. And you guys are all buying it, where it's all perpetuated by the left, and you guys.
No one is saying that. We're talking about Charlie Kirk. Have I just brought up the Oklahoma City bombing? Apparently, none of you guys can hear shit.
The point is that political violence happens.
This is a critical question,
and we need to do something about it.
I'm ready for the critical question.
They classify the post-nightclub shooting as right-wing violence.
You're saying
the left is uniquely responsible for the death death of Charlie Kirk,
okay,
not
hold
for
on,
political
hold on.
violence writ large.
Whoa. Let's see if they're gonna be good faith. Was the Pulse nightclub shooting right-wing violence or left-wing violence?
I'm pretty sure in
Oh, I think I was still watching at this time because I remember this like Pulse nightclub shooting talking
that
point.
shooter's manifesto was what didn't he wasn't it like the same type of vibe as like
Okay, so for the Pulse nightclub shooting, I believe that this guy was he was a ISIS sympathizer. Like this guy sympathized with ISIS. ISIS is right wing, right? Technically speaking, right? Like we don't really have any fucking Democrats who are advocating to be pro ISIS, right? Like to be very clear, like if we're gonna talk about like the fucking hold on, Pulse nightclub shooter. Pulse nightclub shooting. Yeah. I mean he's brown, but that's it, right? But ISIS is right wing. Omar Mateen, right? Omar Mateen, yeah. Also, not only that, he shot on 2016. It's like on the very cusp of the start of Trump. Okay. I mean, he happened to be gay, but like ISIS or Al Qaeda or anything like that. Hold on, let me see. Mateen had told his coworkers that his family was linked to Al Qaeda and that he had joined Hezbollah. Dude. Both rivals of the Islamic State and one of another. Mateen pledged allegiance to ISIS during his 2016 shooting. Like, what the fuck? So someone who pledged allegiance to ISIS? So like, dude, okay, so we're talking about someone who pledged allegiance to ISIS? Is left-wing? Am I missing something? Hello? What?
like the Christchurch shooting guy.
Well, because it's been classified as by the Dems as right-wing violence.
Also, I don't think we can finish this. We're probably going to end stream soon. We're rating it to Steven, okay? But yeah.
Even though it was a gay Muslim that shot up a club. I mean,
Yeah, it's
I
Islamic
Okay.
terrorism.
A gay Muslim
What do we
can't
do
do
about it?
right-wing violence?
What do we do about it?
What?
Okay, the left is evil. Now what? Like,
It's
what do you
gay
want to do?
Muslim-
What's
No,
the
stop.
point?
I
What
do,
do we do to solve it?
Oof. I feel like, oh, fuck. Because the Pulse nightclub shooting has been like, it's almost been 10 years. Almost been 10 years, right? Oh, fuck. I wish more people could have known about the details of that one. Because if you're gonna bring that up, like these people like these people are just weaponizing, sorry, these fucking dishonest fucks, okay? These actual fucking inbred, fucking retard, moron, like fucking stupid fucking morons, okay? Like Jesus Christ. Like I'm sorry, but these people are using it so dishonestly. The reason why they think that this person was like left wing is that I guess this person happened to be gay and happened to be brown. Two traits, by the way, that are inherent to a person's being, right? Because you could be brown and still be conservative. You can't be gay and still be conservative, right? So like it's almost as if like these two parts do not matter, right? But yeah.
Okay,
Not
okay.
Part of the right wing.
Your claim is-
Okay, hey, you guys asked me to get the
Have to
memorandums up.
learn.
You guys asked me to get the memorandums up.
But I mean, you can also call out the fact that like maybe you shouldn't be bringing this up in the first place, right? Because the thing is that like why does this matter in the grand scheme of things? Like why does the Pulse nightclub shooting matter, right? Why is it that you're really dismissing Hortman, but you're really honing in on the Pulse nightclub shooting, where the target of the Pulse nightclub shooting specifically were gay people. Were gay people, by the way. Gay people. Like what the fuck? Like what are you talking about? Like it was so clearly such a hate crime of a shooting. Like it's such an obvious hate crime of a shooting, you know. And it's so fucking obvious, right? I don't know. Like I can't believe this example is being brought up. Like I actually cannot believe this example is being brought up. Right? They're using it to discount statistics. What statistic? It's like. How and what's this? Like, by the way, even if you add 50 more, like, let's just say you had 50 more lefty shootings, right? Add 50 more lefty shootings to the list. Even then, it's not enough. It's not more than the amount of right-wing inspired violence. It's not. It's not more than the right-wing inspired violence, okay? Even if you add 50 more left-wing violent shootings, killings, and whatever, right? It's not even close. It's just not even close. It's so moronic and stupid and more... Yeah, I don't know. It's just really stupid. Like, this shit is just so
Do you still
retarded.
want the differences or no?
Yes.
It's so
Yes.
stupid,
Okay,
dude.
so in the Charlie Kirk memorandum, it has several. Whereas
God.
Charlie was devoted Christian, dedicated husband. I'm going to really paraphrase this. It's a long document, right, or longer for things. Fierce defender of American founding, its timeless principles, embodiment of free speech in the First Amendment, commitment to civil discussion, debate, one of the most prominent voices in America. Blah blah blah. All these things were added, and the Hortman one has a single line of what was it? A formidable public servant who served her community. And
This is the
again,
massive
this is
difference
the
that you were
big
presenting
difference.
earlier.
Yeah,
No, no, no,
here's the
It's
thing.
a
It's not a
massive
policy
Confluence-
difference. It's just a difference in.
Oh,
Well, there were
Feather.
more words.
No,
it wasn't.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Confluence and Gibbs want to make the claim, please, if you don't mind.
Come on.
Confluence and Gibbs keep wanting to make the claim that this is coming more from the right, that it is more ideologically motivated, or I'm sorry, from the left, that it is more ideologically motivated from the left, right? And it is coming more intensely from the left, right? We keep bringing up Melissa Hortman versus Charlie Kirk. When we look at those two shooters, which one of them would you classify as more ideologically motivated?
The Charlie Kirk shooter.
That is absolute horseshit, Gibbs, and you fucking know it.
Well, no, I don't.
You know
because I'll
it.
tell you
No,
why. We
that's just a
actually
lie. That's
hold on.
just a lie.
Hold on. Actually, I wasn't going to do
Says
this.
the guy
but
who says
hold
the
on, hold
Kirk
on, hold on.
shooter could've been
I
right.
will do this. I will do this.
Agreed.
I wasn't going to do this. I was actually
We
going to
could've
let.
been
Hold on, hold on.
right.
I was going to let it go and just like say, hey, it's fine. The guy that shot the Hornets, he's right wing, right? However, you know what? Since we're going to be doing this bad faith game, I'll play the game. Listen, we
Oh
have
my
evidence
God.
that guy had a
Bad faith
personal
game.
vendetta against Walls and a personal vendetta against some of these other people due to appointments, other things, and it might have been just work related. I haven't sat here though
Did
and
you
tried
see
to
his
push.
hit list?
Hold on. I haven't sat here and tried to push that, right? I could do that narrative, but I've just graced that. Hey, yeah, this guy's right wing. Cool. But then when we try to get you to do the same thing from a guy that's dating a transgender person who's in a Discord
him be
server with
left-wing,
Antifa, he's
No, no,
left wing.
no, you don't understand. You don't understand.
Oh,
You don't
no,
understand the difference here.
he's a groiper. Like,
You
you
don't
gotta be
understand
fucking kidding me, bro.
Gibbs.
Call him
The
left-wing.
difference here, Gibbs, is for the Melissa Hortman shooter. You people
But you know what? You know what? I listen. I'm just glad that we moved on from the Pulse nightclub shooting, because oh my god, that would be such a retarded point to bring up. Like, you have no idea how retarded that point would be to bring up. Okay, I'm just glad we moved on from the fucking Pulse nightclub shooting point, bro. You have got to be kidding me. And also unearthing such an ancient shooting, dude. That shit is as old as Jesus. Okay, like. The Pulse nightclub shooting might as well be as old as Jesus's like fucking crucifixion. Okay, Jesus Christ.
even though it was clearly right wing motivated. First of all,
What
if
do
you
you
have
mean by you
you have
people?
his hit list,
What do you mean, people?
I mean you dumb MAGA.
It's a quote.
Oh,
It's
God.
from,
Okay,
it's
how many
from-
people
Do not
celebrated
do
her
not
shooting?
do toss.
That's
on
what I
my
want to
stream,
know.
please. Just keep it PG-13.
Yeah, it was Tropic
Oh.
Thunder. It was Tropic Thunder.
How many people celebrated her shooting? This is what I said in my opening. This is why it's a unique thing with Charlie. When she was killed, there wasn't a mass amount of people on the right getting hundreds of thousands of retweets and likes about the most grotesque jokes about their death and the
Should I go look
celebration
at
of
Lips of
it.
TikTok? Should I go
There's
look?
selling-
Should I go
there's
look?
selling-
Look,
there's
Hortman was
look,
not
I'm not
I'm
interested
gonna
saying
find
in
that right now.
I'm not
in the
saying you can't. Lips of
advancement
TikTok is off, and
left-wing
Destiny did not raid. Destiny is still streaming.
ideals
I'll
and
put money
right-wing
on it.
ideals.
I'll put money on
They're
it right now.
selling a $20 thing. A leftist organization right now is selling a $20 statue made from
Apparently, he decided to start stream at precisely my time. Oh my god. Yeah, he decided to start stream like at precisely my beginning time. So, no, not precisely, but like a few hours before that. I mean, it is what it is. Okay.